And we're back at it again this week. The meta's in a pretty interesting spot with G21 being fairly new and Annihilus coming out. Which, by the way, congrats to Johnny for finishing number 1. That's gonna definitely secure first place in CC for a while because 5 Diamond Annihilus is at the very least going to demand 1 sack until people can figure out what to do. But then even just sheer size is always going to be a problem, which you're gonna see a bit more about that very soon. Otherwise, same format as last time. Not really going to look at what other people did versus me or my defense. Just going to focus on my attacks and why I did what I did and why it may or may not have worked. So, see you in a sec. Okay, so somewhat of a spoiler here, but round 1 is against Johnny. Johnny, for those that don't know, is the top TCP player in the game right now. He's at like 810 million or something crazy. So all his teams on defense are G21, ISO 5. A lot of them on offense the same. Diamonds coming out the ass. You'll see some crazy stuff. So. And also, Johnny is always someone that finishes Dark Dimension very quickly. I think he was number 1 for Professor X. He was also number 1 again for Annihilus. So basically, I went into this round thinking, I can't compete with this. I've lost. I'm not going to win on an efficiency battle. And with Annihilus in play on offense, nothing will survive probably. So I figured this would be a great opportunity to do some science, test out some theories, do some limit testing because you rarely see teams this big. So if the theory works on these teams, it'll definitely work anywhere else. So with that out of the way, unfortunately I can't show this combat cancel. For whatever reason, I get anomaly detected. So I'll have to walk you through it, but as you can see, it did not work as planned. So the theory was, I've been wanting to do this for a while with Striker Daemon, because Doctor Strange Heartless gives him a bunch of crit, but against Staring Warriors, that's not really useful because they just block everything. So I figured, well, Striker Daemon will do just more flat damage. So as long as you can still reset off of Blue Marvel, you can maybe have a better chance of killing them because you're just guaranteed to do more damage to them with Striker. At least that was the theory. So and Darkstar was there as a safety because assuming you get 1 kill, then you get the double tap from Daemon. Then she will also do her passive ping with new stats to hopefully finish anyone off that was at low health because generally Daring Warriors tend to stay at a little bit of low health when you try to do a comp like this against them. And also she's faster than everyone except Eclipse, so she would also take her ultimate before they go and finish them off, or if you really need to kill someone, the special is I think 20% health steal, so block can't really stop that. So she was there as a safety. Now I tried this a bunch in War. I always got the reset. War and CC though have the difference where CC has a 10% health damage buff baseline per room. So to emulate that, when I was testing, I had someone put a Fortifier 5 Blue Marvel that was also G21 on defense to kind of emulate that extra health to see if I could still get the reset. Now, I did get the reset in War, but I still didn't get the reset here, so it just immediately fell apart. So Daemon goes, barely didn't kill Blue Marvel, and then that's it. Because Blue Marvel goes, kills most of your team, Darkstar and Daemon survive, but then Eclipse goes, and so on and so forth. So not worth saving, nothing happened, but again, well, actually probably worth saving, but I still wanted to test the limits of my teams, because I just got a 4 Diamond Daemon from the leaderboard, so a lot of what a Daemon comp can and can't kill comes down to, for me at least, to feeling or seeing what the limits might be to know what's safe or not. So figured I'd give it another try. So this is the more traditional version, but as you can already see, it did not go very well, and that was mostly a product of these teams just being giant. Because you'll see, we come in here, Eclipse does her thing, whatever. So Yo-Yo goes, I target Blue Marvel to guarantee the double tap because she hits 4 targets total. So there's a version of this where you're like, all right, let me just guarantee damage on Eclipse or something like that, or Thrasher's kind of, these are kind of the 2 targets you really want to kill sooner rather than later. And then hope that one of the other hits Blue Marvel. If it doesn't, there's a risk you won't double tap because you'll only have 1 vulnerable, all this barrier will be on here. and that might not be enough. I didn't feel like trying that much science. So anyway, I hit into Blue Marvel, get a bunch of vulnerables. Unfortunately, only one on Eclipse, and Thrasher, which means actually only one on these three, which kind of sucks because that's just less damage to them because Iron Patriot bonus damage scales with the amount of vulnerables. But anyway, guaranteed to get the Blue Marvel here. Boop, he's gone. And then you can see here, these two are just a little too thick. So this guy, what is he? He barely didn't die. Speedball, what is it? Yeah, 3 diamond G21 is the limit, basically. You're probably not resetting off of him, at least with my team. If my yo-yo was bigger, maybe, but she's only 3 diamond. Or, sorry, 3 diamond G20. So if she's a G21 yo-yo, actually this probably works because she's an old stat character that doesn't benefit from the G20.5 unique or whatever you want to call it. So if you can get her to G21, she will do a lot more damage to help set this kind of kill up, but she's also very expensive. I think she's 4 pieces, so I don't got that kind of money lying around. So I just barely didn't do enough damage. If there was, you know, one or two vulnerables on them, maybe that would have been it. But they survived, which means you kind of just instantly lose. Like if Eclipse survives, chances are you've lost. So you'll see it here. They just start taking turns. So I'm just burning their abilities at this point, and it's basically over. Boop. Disaster. So yeah, unlucky. Then for cleanup, nothing too crazy here, just Vigilante, because enough attacks were burned. Blue Marvel had done his ultimate, so I figured I can probably eat the rest of... Well, Blue Marvel's dead actually, but these 4, the full Darren Warriors are still alive, so they're still spicy, and even though they're low, like Eclipse is going to open up with her ultimate, which also heals them. So, this is not guaranteed to go smoothly, basically. But I didn't really have a lot of options left because I actually circled back into this attack later. But anyway, here I actually got lucky because Daredevil blocked the passive from Eclipse. I cannot bring the damn UI up, unfortunately. But on spawn, she hits the enemy protector with the highest speed, I think, with Trauma Silence, which means all these buffs would not be here. But, you know, taste of their own medicine, Daredevil blocked that, which is pretty wild. I mean, he has a high block chance because of his team, but it's still pretty funny. But anyway, he got all his stuff, which is great news for me. Then Sable won the coin flip here. See, they blocked all the strips here, so they kept most of their stuff. So block chance, one of my least favorite stats because it introduces so much RNG that you can't control into a fight. Like, obviously you're guaranteed to block the damage, but when it comes to effects, I just don't like how much RNG there is with which, other than the damage, what else is actually going to work. And in this case, everything was blocked. I think they actually, yeah, they even blocked the application of the vulnerable because that's part of the ability rather than the ISO attack. So yeah, you can kind of block almost everything in the game, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, Eclipse does her ultimate, and you'll see she, I think... Oh, she doesn't really heal up Speedball because my Sable won the coin flip. But anyway, at this point, I'm just trying to secure kills. So Hitmonkey does his thing, it's just pure damage. Here, maybe I should have done the special, to be honest, because I'm not going to get speed up, and I might as well just hit everyone, but I just went with the ultimate out of habit. Thrasher does his special, it's going to hit a bunch of people. Not too bad. Daredevil special as well. It hurts, but not too bad. And Speedball also does his special, because he never took a turn before, which gives them all speed up, which is a little concerning. But again, because my Daredevil resisted the silence here, I got kind of lucky, and the damage was spread out in a fairly safe way. So again, the concept here is I just have to kill people, and that block chance is just crazy. Here I do the Punisher special, because these are a lot of juicy buffs, and I figured I might as well just take whatever I can here by killing him and taking those back. Could have done the ultimate, but it's just raw damage, and right now that's not what I need. I just need to be able to stabilize and then pick them all off. Then I start just focusing on Eclipse at this point. you're just gonna see it's just beating into them and hoping that they die before something crazy happens. But with just 3 piece left, it's honestly not that big of a threat. Now, if my Daredevil had not blocked that silence on spawn, this could have gotten way worse because attacks could have gone differently. But honestly, there's so many of their attacks are AoE that I'm not sure it would have mattered too much. Like Thrasher would have still picked a line to hit against. I guess ISO attacks could have been a problem here, but anyway, sometimes you need some luck, and in this case, it worked in my favor. So this is just me cleaning them up. Just gonna move through this real quick. Yeah, Daring Warriors at G21 with high diamonds are incredibly hard to get through and fairly daemon proof unless you have a 5 diamond daemon. Alright, finally moving on to another room. This one is fairly straightforward. You're gonna see this defense a lot, but again, limit testing, will this work at scale where 5 diamond, 5 diamond, 5 diamond, 5 diamond, G21 everywhere. As this is as high as this team could ever be in the current state of the game. So yeah, ideally you can have. So if you have Gwenpool on offense, if you put her in here instead of Dormammu, that protects the important members of your team because Songbird ultimate can be dodged, so Gwen dodges it, and also Gwen gives Jeff 2 evades, so he also dodges it, which means someone else takes the Shadow King ping, and usually everyone else is healthy enough to be able to handle that. Then if you also lose the Magneto coin flip, then at that point your Gwen does get hit pretty hard by Magneto, but Jeff still has 1 evade left, so he's generally fine, and hopefully whoever else took the ping from Shadow King before will still survive, especially now that you can get 2 diamonds on Professor X. Previously that could have been a risk, but at this point not really. However, Gwen is pretty valuable on defense. A lot of people are running her, so the version that I do in that case is just with Dormammu, where you're just accepting a more inefficient attack, because Dormammu is going to die. I doubt a G21 Dormammu wouldn't, even though he does actually have a lot of health for a really old stat character. So anyway, we can see how this one goes. It's pretty straightforward. It is just survive until you go, and then it plays out in a fairly standard way that most people are used to. So Songbird goes, here everyone just gets slapped around. Dormammu's basically guaranteed to die there. There's no way he survives that. See, Jeff here is alive, even with this being a max team. I also lose the coin flip, so this is why Dormammu's important, because if I hadn't had him and I was relying on the coin flip, I wouldn't be able to do the pull-in, and the pull-in is very important for controlling the fight and doing enough damage before things get out of hand. Plus, you always want to ability block Shadow King. Again, if Magneto and Shadow King here were flipped, this would have been spicier, because Professor X Special will always ability block controllers, which means I currently do not care what Phoenix does, and I also don't care what he's going to do because he's blinded. If Magneto and Shadow King were flipped, I guess at this point he would be hitting into my Mummy for an ability block and a ping. He would have chipped away at Jeff, but because he's ability blocked, he's just not going to do anything. And then let's see. So at this point, the name of the game is, as always, just don't kill Phoenix before anyone else. You want her last. Quick call out for Cyclops. I did the special on Phoenix. His ability is confusing. I've struggled to always remember exactly how I need to target it, but the best way that I can think about it these days is target who you want to take the least amount of damage. Because Cyclops is going to hit the primary for 350% damage, but what are even his stats? He just doesn't have a ton of damage. But all of the assists that he calls out, he calls 2 random allies to attack the other 2 most injured targets. So here, I don't want Phoenix to take the most amount of damage, but I do want the others to die, so target Phoenix, and then that calls in the assists on everyone else. Then I do a basic here on Songbird. I didn't want to start AoEing down because I was, again, paranoid about killing her, same thing here. I'm just trying to kill them one at a time. I don't want to risk Phoenix dying. Luckily, she kills Songbird for me. So at this point, it's just kill Shadow King, which is pretty straightforward. You're going to see it's just, yeah, basic into ISO. At this point, he's got less health, so I think, let's see, boop. And one more attack, and then you pause, and that's basically it. Okay, so I misplayed this a little bit, but also this is a great example of you cannot mess around with teams this big. Because any other normally sized Starjammers, this would be fine. But I underestimated the Lalandra basically here, which is why I say I misplayed this, because I did something I usually don't do, but it's been a while since I've done this comp without Nova, so I was kind of, just to say, off my game. So here I brought in Storm to control Havoc because I was pretty sure anyone he ults into is dead. So I brought in Storm to control him. I didn't want him taking a turn, and as always, you know, that stops the pings, which is great. Then I ability blocked Howard here because I didn't want him using his ultimate to ability block me. Then I did the Havoc special on Lalandra, and she resisted the stun. So this guy should probably be a skirmisher anytime you're bringing him for control, because that there just kind of destroyed me basically. Now, at this point, I'm trying not to push Lilandra because I don't want the random gladiator. So I'm like, all right, I'll just beat up the rest. And I also don't want to kill Groot because when he dies, he does a bunch of things, or he gives a bunch of positive effects to Starjammers on top of potentially reviving. So here I am, just trying to whittle everyone else down, because usually once one Starjammer dies, that's it. So here's my biggest mistake. I absolutely needed to ability block Lilandra here because it's I basically can't let her take a turn to do her ultimate, even if that means Groot gets to do his ultimate, because I have time to kill her before she circles around the second time. But because the stun from Havoc didn't land, I kind of got screwed here, and in my mind I was like, oh yeah, Lilandra's fine, I just need to take care of Groot, because that was the order I had in my head. So I do this, and then let's see, so Howard does his basic. Now that's a problem because Howard basic gives offense up to all Starjammers. So even though he's blinded and he's not doing anything to me, he's setting me up for failure. Here, yeah, Rocket special just destroys my Storm with the assist, and my Storm is 5 diamond as well. And then see, 100% health, 100% health, almost 100%. Ult's taking a little bit of damage. The 4 diamond, and I think it's my Havoc 4 diamond too. I can't pull up the thing, but anyway, Lilandra takes a turn, and my entire team dies. So yeah, a slight misplay on my end because I just needed to stop Lilandra, and I probably could have one-shot this, but I also didn't expect her to blow up my entire team, and now you know for next time, never let a big Lilandra take a turn or you're dead. Okay, so if you watched my hits last week, you've seen this before, so I'm not going to talk too much about it in this round because it mostly plays out exactly as you'd expect, but this was once again just limit testing. Can I actually kill this Warlock? How big is he actually? Let's see, what are they? 5 Diamond Warlock, 4 Cannonball, 5 Wolfsbane, 5 Sunspot, 4 Magic. So yeah, I've previously lost fights. I mean, this was before Diamonds on Odin, but I have lost this to a 5 Diamond Warlock previously where I just literally did not have enough damage to kill him before he circled back to his second turn. So limit testing again. Obviously you already know it works. Well, let's see how it goes. So yep, lost the coin flip, but Quasar special, so you can get the assist off of Odin. Then you do the Odin special to heal everyone up. You blast our basic into Cannonball to get past the taunt, and then you can freely Thunderstrike ultimate into Warlock to get the trauma ability block so that he doesn't ruin you on his first turn. Then, since that played out well, you can also ability block on Wolfsbane so that she doesn't take away all your buffs. She'll just do her basic, but generally you want to keep all these juicy buffs, and she will remove them if she takes a turn and uses her special. So stop that from happening, and then the swipes start happening. So the fight is essentially over at this point. It's just a matter of how efficiently can you kill the rest of the team, depending on all the health triggers and the evades and the targeting and all that stuff. But you'll see I'm never really in danger at this point, despite the size. It's just going to take a while to get through them. The best possible RNG in this fight is if every attack goes into Odin, because he's just going to heal it all back. He's not going to get any debuffs on him because of the charges. Now, you can actually ultimate here. I don't know if you noticed, but he got his ultimate energy. It's still better, in my opinion, here to just basic, because that's going to clear a bunch of buffs. It's also going to give Blastar one more charge so that he can do a 4-stack bomb burst and, you know, hopefully kill everyone that is normally sized. But again, 5 diamond G21 on everything, they're just barely surviving. However, Thunderstrike special, nothing can stop that because it does a ton of % health damage. So I targeted Warlock here because I was afraid. Like, honestly, you could probably just target on Wolfsbane to get this trio dead. But I was just so paranoid here that I specialed on Warlock to also get the Blastar assist just in case he didn't die, because that was my fail condition. But, you know, in hindsight, didn't need it. So, yeah. At this point, we're just trying to clean up the rest. So, yeah, one more turn. Who's gonna take it? Oh, Cannibal did his ultimate. Why not? Sap away a little more efficiency, and then the Retaliate kills them all. So this counter scales. Can use it against any team at this point. A little bit of RNG, but that's a spoiler for round 2, so you'll have to check that one out tomorrow. Alright, so a bit of an interesting comp. This is very Fantastic Fourable. However, I do not have them on offense. I ran this defense last season. It's honestly not too special on its own, but what matters in defense in Cosmic Crucible is it's never just one room, unless it's some crazy room that nobody can clear. What matters is the sum of your defense and what it leaves you for offense. So, you know, for me, where I have a lot on defense, this does end up being kind of tricky. This is one of the reasons why I've kept Null on offense, because it helps me deal with Mephistos in ways that normally I wouldn't be able to. So you'll see how this one goes. It's fairly straightforward, but me choosing to do this attack did cause me some troubles in another room because, again, science, but you know, it kind of proved that I can't get away with some of the bullshit that I try to do. So anyway, here specifically picked Mr. Fantastic as a pre-taunt. I keep wanting to try Black Knight, but if Black Knight gets pushed too fast, then you kind of lose the control of where attacks go. It's just safer to do it this way. Plus, Mr. Fantastic, you know, he's got Safeguard, he's got Deathproof. He also gives your entire team barrier, so he's pretty good plug-and-play tank. Other than the fact that he's Cosmic, so that can bite you in the ass sometimes. So Mephisto goes, does a special, whatever. Because Apok is here, the debuffs from Mephisto won't land, but the assist from Null does hit hard and give a slow here. And then Mephisto basic hits into him again, but also hits into Old Man Logan, which gives me speed bar. And the reason why I did this on purpose, even though there's a Mephisto here, is because I wanted to get ahead of Superior Spider-Man, because once he goes, he's going to give everyone Safeguard, immunity, and all that shit. So I needed a semi-cheap way to get ahead of him and stop that. Which Old Man Logan does, because, well, normally he would, but once again, 5 diamonds, crazy stats, getting resist checked. You know, I should probably be accounting for the size with things like swapping him to Skirmisher, just to make sure things go as planned, but I did not think I needed to do that here. Anyway, then Vulture goes. Everyone's just still beating into Mr. Fantastic, but he's holding on because of the death proofs. Also, if you can, you want Old Man Logan to get hit as much as possible without putting him at risk. And since he's still at full health with his death proofs at this point, it's fine for him to kind of be adjacent still. Because the theory was that everyone's kind of going to die before it really matters. So at this point now, Mephisto goes, I use the special here out of pure fear. Because again, I'm just trying to make sure I stay alive and kill everyone. Hobgoblin, do not want to let him take a turn. He's 5 diamond, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's 5 diamond G21. If he goes, my entire team is just gonna die. So I'm basically trying to kill him even before Mephisto. Now Gore's here. He's got a lot of speed stat because of Null, but everyone else kind of not everyone else. Old Man Logan got ahead of him because of being hit. APOC got ahead because of the speed up that he got by being. I think he got that from. Where did he get that from? I'm actually not sure. I'll have to look at the replay. I'm not sure what affected him. It might have been Mephisto's special. Let's see. Now I'm curious, and I don't want to pause this video and do it again. So we'll figure it out together. So Mephisto's special attacks primary. This does if the hero taunt, apply defense sub, mind control the enemy. Okay, so apply offense down for 2 turns to all enemies. That counts as an attack. I'm doing air quotes that you can't see. So APOC retaliated and got his speed up, which let him get ahead. And then, anyway, that's how his turn got that way. I could have used the ultimate with APOC, but again, everyone is low. I'm so paranoid about the turn order being weird because Superior Spider-Man's not stunned that I wanted to make myself healthy. But anyway, Gore goes. Everything going into Hobgoblin in terms of assists. I really want him dead. I guess he's ability block at this point, so I'm freaking out for no reason. But then we do the Null special. Special offensively is generally better because of the speed bar, unless for some reason you really need to get slow out on everyone, or you really want Null to have darkness on everyone, because usually with all the pushes, Null gets to lap people. So like the Carnage comes out here, you'll see it's an extra attack, another assist for Old Man Logan, another assist for Null. Now I got more speed bar, so you kind of just go vroom with Carnage and the extra speed bar. So and the special also cleanses and does a bunch of shit, so it's really good. And most of the time I prefer to do that on offense. But anyway, fight's kind of over at this point. I was worried about... I could have definitely gone a little bit cheaper here, and I should have, as you're about to find out. So this is where my science went off the rails in the worst possible way. So this composition here on the right, I think is what's going to end up being the default for the rest of the season. Maybe some minor variations, but this is a pretty tough permutation. Now, what I was trying to test here is, can I get away with not bringing Old Man Logan here? Because in my mind, Old Man Logan is just going to get destroyed. But generally, you need him to get past Nova. Because Old Man Logan removes or prevents the charge that Nova gets, and that charge gives him a bajillion resistance, so he's really hard to get past. But I was hoping, I'll try a different version of what I did last week. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I could just splash damage, kill everyone, whatever. Turns out no. At least not at this size. There's a moment in this fight where I'm debating if I misplayed, but I think it wouldn't have mattered. Or if my teams were also a little bit bigger, it would have been fine. But honestly, for this kind of setup, you need Sentry ideally, but most of the time Sentry is taxed somewhere else. Or you have to figure out how to squeeze in Old Man Logan to get past Nova, otherwise your targeting kind of goes to shit. I also pulled Moon Girl to offense because I'm trying a different version of what I was running last week just to test things out. Because I did not like the coin flip between Swordmaster and Hobgoblin, which is what can sometimes cost you efficiency. So Swordmaster is 120, Moon Girl is 119, so she will always go after Swordmaster, does his special to clear positive effects. As you can already tell, did not go as planned at all. But let's see why. So I put Moon Girl here because my Moon Girl, that's a tongue twister, is 5 diamond. I got a lucky pull from a pity orb. And she has 84.5 million health. I think without the room it's like 48 or something like that. But anyway, I do a basic on Nova here because I don't want to hit Hyperion. And also there's no point in doing the special here, honestly, because I'm not ability blocking anyone. Then Lady Bullseye goes, does her ultimate on Shaw and Moon Girl. Again, does so much damage, it's crazy. That offense up and 5 diamonds in G21 is insane. The problem here, though, is debuffs. So this slow offense down on primary Jason is very, very problematic. Debating here if I need immunity from Summer basically to really make this work properly, and there's no good way for me to bring immunity in outside of I think Daredevil does, but I have to bring that. But that requires 4 members, so Mephisto breaks that. I could have specialed with Superior Spider-Man, but then I'd hit Hyperion, so this entire team would just lap me and just kill everyone. So not good, basically. So anyway, I'm stuck here still, so I'm just specialing on... Sorry, this is an empowered special on Nova, because that applies exposed on Hyperion, and when Mephisto's around, any target that has exposed cannot get or give turn meter. So that kind of takes away Hyperion's crazy let's supercharge the team and have them all go against each other, or sorry, go ahead of your team. You also get the battlefield effect out, which is a lot of nice buffs. Now, oh, sorry, and here's the other thing. Because I didn't bring Old Man Logan, and the charges are still here. Actually, am I remembering that correctly? I think I am, but let me just confirm before I say something stupid. While charged, yeah, while charged, enemies can't gain safeguard or immunity. So this is the biggest reason why you need Old Man Logan, on top of just not getting stuck on him. I'm not getting safeguard from anywhere here when I should be. So I didn't get it from well, I guess yeah. So Swordmaster is meant to give you safeguard, didn't get that, and Mephisto BFE also didn't give it to me because this charge is still up. So Old Man Logan is really, really, really good against Nova if you can spare him to get past Nova, and also to get a lot of buffs that you're really gonna want. But anyway, then I do the special with Shaw because that gives a bunch of barrier to your team, and I'm just struggling to survive at this point, holding out a dear life. But I mean, I'm just beating into Nova, and he just doesn't give a shit. Hyperion special, that gets them past the taunt, which is now dangerous territory for me because they can hit into anyone. So Swordmaster special. Now let's see. I think this actually does not do a good job of clearing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know if it got resist checked or what, because I thought this just straight up reduced. This reduced the duration of unity safeguard. Oh, okay, so I misunderstood how this works. That's good to know. I thought it just reduced everything by 2, but it is just safeguard and immunity. Interesting. So he's good for getting past things, but you can't rely on him to like clear everything because, well, so he got resist checked on Nova. Looks like he got resist checked on Hyperion, but where it did work, it still left things like the offense up, offense up, defense up. So they're still gonna beat into me, and this is where things just go crazy. So Swordmaster kills my Shaw through the death proofs, which is a little crazy to me, which then means my Moon Girl gets stunned and she's not taking a turn, which is a huge problem. So big Swordmaster, again, G21 5 diamond, my Shaw never stood a chance. Maybe Fortify would have done something, I don't know, but just too much damage. Now the Nova ultimate does a bunch of shit. It hits my Mephisto. He should drop the stun because no trauma. Yep, he does. Now my Moon Girl has lost her turn, which really sucks because her ultimate is actually really good and it would have slowed everyone and flipped everything on the people that don't have safeguard. But she never gets to take a turn. Then again, now people are just going to beat into my Mephisto, which always sucks because he does not get extra stats in this room. So the barrier and death boots are kind of keeping me alive. Now, I do get to do a special on Superior Spider-Man, which is great for everyone other than Mephisto. But you kind of already know how this fight's going to go in that I just get absolutely destroyed. So Hyperion does a basic, just starts hitting into everyone. All the assists are hurting. All the passive pings from Lady Bullseye. She's doing 5% health drain on any target that's been attacked with offense down. And then his Swordmaster gets over to his special, which sucks a lot. You can see there's still plenty of time to go. Even if I'd won this, it would have been insanely inefficient. Now I do a special. It does not annihilate him. Well, I mean, it does annihilate him, but the Raider... I got a little unlucky there. The Raider procs killed him, so it doesn't count as if the ultimate killed him, which means the stun did not go onto these two. If my Swordmaster had killed him without the Raider procs, this probably was a win. But again, just teams are just too big. Nova does a special. The problem is also with Swordmaster here, every time that someone with defense down gets hit, he feeds energy to his team. So all these characters are just looping back to their abilities over time. Yeah, my Moon Girl just does stupid basic here because she's been ability blocked 10 years ago. She actually did a ton of damage because she's 5 damage, 5 diamond with her ISO hit, but it's just still not enough to get past this Nova. He's just holding on to everything. That was the Superior Spider-Man Ultimate. So here, bleeds from Mephisto aren't really that impactful because he's low stat compared to everyone else. So Mephisto's not doing enough damage here, unfortunately. But yeah, you see Lady Bullseye's already back on her ultimate because of all that energy that's being given back. Yeah, see there again. So I just never stood a chance here. Another ultimate, stuns. It's just a massacre basically. So I'm kind of glad I killed at least one character. Maybe if I'd Swordmaster ultimated someone else, this would have gone differently. I don't know, but very, very painful attack. Do not recommend without Old Man Logan for sure. Maybe that, I don't even know if that would have worked. But I think this would probably have been dirty but doable for a normal size team. Absolutely did not scale to this level. Now, attempt number 2. Honestly, I did not think this would go as poorly as it did, but in hindsight, I can see why. Because I should have just brought 100% stat people into this room. My logic was, well, Thanos is probably going to get pushed pretty quickly. That'll be a good way to get all their buffs off because they'll push him. He'll do his passive. It'll clear, the safeguard and all that shit because I didn't really have another good way of doing that other than bringing Ares, and I didn't really want to bring Ares. But this was still surprisingly really bad. Because I thought I had enough synergy here, basically, with, these 4 still have synergies going on. It just did nothing. So let's see. So Songbird does her ultimate. Here, maybe I should have just done the special, to be honest, because the ultimate's not going to do much. Oh, and another thing. This Hyperion here, his retaliates keep healing him. So where is it? That's another reason why you don't want to feed low powered attacks into this team. His basic heals him for 5% of his max health every time he counterattacks. So if you can't get past the barrier, you're just healing him, basically. So I did kind of just heal him there, but I should have probably done the special from Songbird because it does hit harder, but it also rewinds. So maybe I could have had better control over this team. But anyway, luckily Lady Bullseye is basicking there. If she was using her ultimate, Iron Fist would have been useless because the charges would have gone away, so all the damage reduction that brings to everyone but Thanos would have been gone. Now Hyperion does a basic, heals more. There it is, he's now in the yellow. Unfortunately, nobody really hit into Thanos. I probably should have done a better job of checking abilities after that replay, but I kind of assumed, well, all that energy that was returned, surely someone will hit hard into Thanos. Never mind. I did the special here, which was kind of pointless, honestly. I should have just basic there because it's not going to do anything. It's not going to stun anyone. It's not going to do damage. All it did was feed Hyperion one more counterattack to heal even more. Now, his Swordmaster was back on the special. Now my Thanos gets pushed, but it's annihilated my team in a lot of different ways, especially the heal block, because Iron Fist is no longer going to heal my team, which really sucks. Now here I do the Hobgoblin special, assuming this is where the fight might end. So boop 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 boop. Nope, not even close. I don't know why I expect that to do way more damage, but all it did was tickle them and get my Hobgoblin killed, which is actually surprising considering the new stats, but all it retaliates, and this Hyperion is just still healing. It's crazy. Boop. At this point, I'm like, this man has to die. He can't keep getting away with this, but again, barrier and the counterattacks is just too much. So I'm just losing characters left, right, and center, which is kind of hilarious at the time. So probably I should have brought Thanos. Honestly, not entirely sure who I should have instead. I didn't think about it too much. But yeah, not a good attack. Should not have tried to be smart with Thanos. Should have brought something that I know would survive. But honestly, at this point, this team has too much synergy going compared to the scraps that I'm bringing in. Like, yes, most of them were synergistic with the tag, but they didn't do a lot to each other to make that valuable, unfortunately. So dropped another one here. And finally, my literal last-ditch effort of I've got nothing left to throw at this. Anything that was not part of this room rule would just get destroyed immediately, so I just brought the best remaining characters I have to see if I could Hail Mary this. You can see like my Brawn and my Miss Marvel are just what is it, G19. I don't know if they're even 110. Maybe they are because of the Jeff dimension or whatever, but this was just literally scraps. I honestly thought I wasn't clearing this room at this point, but you know, figured might as well. But let's see what happens. So Lady Bullseye specials into Brawn. Honestly, I'm kind of shook he didn't die. I think if she was doing her ultimate there, though, this trio was already dead. But he gets pushed, so she gets a taunt on her, which is kind of okay. Now, Brawn ultimate, luckily, is, what is it, 35% health steal and then some damage. So even if he could be like level 30 or whatever, or wherever you get the T4, I guess, for the ultimate. But he could be very low level and would still chunk someone. So you do the ultimate there, barely doesn't kill him, and I'm just like, oh no, they're going to get stuck at no health and heal back. But then I do the Rachel ultimate, which does hit very hard in just in general, and luckily that gets a kill. That also gave her speed bar because she gets speed bar on kill on the ultimate. Hyperion is doing his ultimate, because why wouldn't he? But he died to a Taskmaster Retaliate, luckily, and didn't get to do any more bullshit, so cool. Now, another ultimate that would have killed, not would have killed, it did kill her, but luckily Brawn had immunity. Taskmaster, I just did a basic because ultimate, they've got immunity. Special, they've got immunity. I'm just going to basic and just hold the attack. Then I rewind them a little bit with Rachel because she got her turn meter. Scorpion, I'm just doing a special here because what else am I going to do with him? I doubt he takes a second turn. Now this is interesting actually because I didn't realize this, and you may have noticed it. Even though Nova is dead, they're still retaliating, which is a big problem. I assumed when Nova dies, the counterattacks go away, but they don't. So every attack here, you're probably going to see, boop, boop. They're just chipping away at my team. But anyway, at this point, I'm just like, people need to die. So I use the ultimate. Luckily, what's-his-face dies. I mean, the fight is over at this point. But yeah, you cannot fuck around with this room, basically. Do not bring low-stat characters unless they have a very intentional purpose. But also, you can't let Nova get away with having charges most of the time. In this case, clearly, I could not. And the things I tried just did not scale to this level.